What is going on, guys? Danny Gets Fit here. I hope you really liked that new intro. I got that done by Tom. He is the runner of Vision 10. I'll put a link down below so you can see the rest of his work, and if you have some other graphic design things that you would like, please go check him out. Anyways, with that aside, today is the Q&A video. I made a post on my Instagram. I wanted you guys to ask me some questions because we're celebrating 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, as well as I recently just hit 10K on Instagram. So these are big milestones, guys, that I've been working towards for a while. But I just want to go up from here. We still have a lot of work to do and a lot planned for the future. But it's really a really good start. It's a really good start, and I'm really happy with how we're growing so far. And so we're just going to go ahead with those questions. I posted 2 days, so you guys had 2 chances to get your questions out. If you did miss this one, it could be because you're not following me on Instagram, so definitely go do that in the link below. And if you are following me on Instagram, then just make sure you subscribe here so you can be in the next one, see your answers and whatnot. So hopefully I'll be able to answer most questions. If I don't get to some, I apologize, but I'll try to get to as many as I can without this being an hour-long video. So first question comes from Cobra Cordova, and he asks, when you were younger, did you have to deal with getting bullied, and did it affect you? And when I was younger, I always got bullied. I was the kid, I was kind of, you know, the chubby, annoying kid that everyone just liked to pick on and bug. And I've always had kind of a defensive attitude, simply because of kind of life situations. I've had to kind of build up this wall, not purposely, but it's happened, you know, because of the way we deal with things. And I found that during school and even in, you know, current life situations, sometimes that can be a negative towards me. Is I instantly want to I instantly want to get back at people for being like mean or like condescending towards me, and it's something I'm continuing to work on in this very day. So back in school, how that affected me is I had a very hard time socially getting along with other kids. I didn't have a lot of friends going through middle school or elementary school or high school. High school, the last 2 years is when I started to kind of mature more a bit and realize how I could connect with people in a more healthier way than what I was trying to do before, which I was just trying to get attention a lot of the times. And it did affect me for a long time during those years, but I was able to grow out of it, strengthen myself. It's all up to the choices you make, guys. If you let stuff like that bring you down, it's just going to continue to get worse. If you look at the stuff, like, of course it's not ideal, but if it happens, try to deal with it the best way you can so that you can grow from it, and in the future it's going to make you a lot stronger and better of a person. And I believe a lot of that has to do with who I am today, is because of the life experiences that I've gone through. Bullying is no thing to just kind of look past. It's a serious issue even today. So I just want to essentially just say, be as nice to people as you can. This thing about this community that makes it so awesome is that everyone's mostly positive. There's always going to be haters out there, but try to remain positive, guys, so we can continue to grow this community. We can continue to get new people who aren't scared to join our group of awesome fitness lovers. Anyways, that answers that question the best as I can. For weight loss, can you just count calories and stay within your calorie goal, or do you have to specifically track macros on point? So at the start, just to make things easier, I just stuck to calories. What I would recommend is that if you're just starting out, just focus on eating the amount of calories that you should per day. You can go to like iifym.com, calculate what you should be intaking daily. Be really honest with those calculators, because it'll give you the best kind of best calories for you, rather than being too high or too low. But all the time anyways, with every different person, you're gonna have to play around and find what calories work for you. So I would definitely recommend doing that. The most important thing, though, I found is that, and it's something I lacked probably for a long time, is not a lot of people intake the amount of protein they're supposed to, especially when you're looking to build muscle and you're going to the gym. Especially then, I would definitely recommend getting in, like they say 1 pound of 1 pound of fat, you should have 1 gram of protein. I would personally recommend like 0.8 grams of protein per body weight, and it's supposed to be for lean mass. So say you're like 230 pounds, probably a lot of that is fat. So lean mass, they're talking about like muscle, not fat. So what you would probably want to be intaking is around 100 and maybe 180 grams of protein. That's usually a good estimate from there, but you kind of have to track that stuff out and find what works best for you. But definitely the one thing I would recommend kind of tracking, if you're going to track everything or anything, is calories and protein, and then just try to fit in whatever else, eat whatever you want. Once you get more advanced into fitness and you're not really fighting day to day to keep on your diet, you really got a good sense of it, you got a good hold on it, that I would recommend maybe going into a little more tracking everything by gram. because then you're going to get a little bit better results. And I found that the past 8 weeks that I've been doing that, I've been having great results compared to before when I was just tracking calories, where I still had really good results when I was tracking calories just for simple weight loss. So yeah, do what you can. Anything's better than nothing. So that was from Andrew Caponetti. This is the hardest part about all these Q&As, is reading everyone's name. This one is from BB Living Fit. Hey Danny, do you use a pre-workout, intra-workout? If so, what's your fave? And do you find that aids your workout quite a bit? With pre-workouts, I notice a little bit of difference just simply in the focus. I can remain kind of like in the zone and not have to or not want to, or have the urge to go talk to people or say hi or whatever. So in that sense, it's good. Also, of course, gives you a little bit more energy. One thing I would say is don't become reliant on pre-workout. If you can kind of like take a month of it, take a month off, take a month, that'd be a good way to let your body not get reliant on stimulants and caffeine. Because if your body gets reliant on that, then you're just going to be spending tons of money, and then coming off of it's going to be really hard on your body. So I would definitely recommend being careful with that kind of stuff for pre-workout, that is. A lot of people have, like for me, example, beta-alanine hits me really hard. So sometimes I either like to try to find a non-beta-alanine pre-workout, or I just take less than they say. So like for GAT, for example, GAT Nitroflex is one of my favorite pre-workouts, but it does make me tingle a ridiculous amount. So what I do is I take about a half a scoop rather than a full scoop, and that is enough energy for me to go through my workout and have a good workout. Intra-workout, really the only reason I take BCAAs is for the flavoring. There is, a bunch of stuff that they'll say it'll help you build muscle or whatnot. I think mainly it's just for a flavoring thing for me, and then maybe if you're on a cut, it might help you have a little more better recovery or energy later, but it's not something you want to rely on. Like I said, it's not something that you have to use. It's something if you want a little bit flavoring in your water or whatever, or a flavored drink in general that isn't too like artificial or a bunch of calories, then I would definitely recommend picking up some BCAAs. You simply add it to your water, it tastes good, and it could, do a minor little bit for recovery and whatnot for you. But yeah. Executive Hustler, nice name. How much cardio you doing these days, and what subs you using? Cardio, I do 20 minutes a day. That's like 20 minutes direct cardio, like on the treadmill or stairs or wherever. I try to focus on incline and stairs, just because I feel though they work me the hardest. But you also want to just keep aware that that's on top of the stuff you're doing throughout the day. So if you're going if you're going for a walk with friends or something, definitely continue to go on that walk. Don't be like, oh, that's my cardio for the day, that's it. Do 20 minutes extra cardio. That's what I try to do. Sometimes, days I'm just like, I do 10 minutes, I'm like, nah, not feeling it today. But then I'll try to incorporate more activity throughout my day, but just kind of stick with that. And then supplements, all I'm taking right now is a multivitamin, fish oil, protein powder, sometimes pre-workout, but I'm actually cycled off of it for a month right now. And then BCAAs for flavoring, and really that is it. I'll start taking creatine on my bulk once I start doing that, but that's not going to be for a bit. So yeah. Carly Hicks asks, would you rather never be able to use the internet again, or never be able to get on a plane? Internet, I want that all the time, because if I didn't have internet, I wouldn't be able to connect with you guys. So I can go without a plane. I can drive. Or boat, I guess, would be the other option of transport. I've lost A Childers 126 asks, I've lost 80 pounds since January 2015, and my bench press has dropped drastically. Was your strength affected at all during your weight loss? Yes. As I've lost weight, I've gotten weaker and weaker. There's been some points where I've gotten a little bit stronger simply from perfecting my form with like squat, deadlift, bench press. Form has helped a lot, so that could be one thing that as you progress, definitely try to work on your form a lot more. Recently watched a video from Super Training, Mark Bell and Silent Mike and those guys. They did a 2-hour video of explaining the form for squats, deadlifts, and bench, and I would highly recommend watching that video. I watched the full 2-hour video without even being like not into it the whole time. I was fully focused. It was an awesome, informative video that I highly recommend for people who are looking to add some strength onto those 3 big lifts. But otherwise, yes, your strength is going to be affected the more weight you lose. Unfortunately, that's kind of just part of it, but you want to try to maintain as much strength as possible. I feel like my next bulk, I'm going to be able to add a lot of strength, and I'm going to try to focus next cut on not cutting so hard and also adding more strength, or keeping more strength on. Jason Webb 54 asks a good question here. In what ways are you treated differently, especially by strangers, now that you've lost so much weight? Society has kind of brought this point of, if you're overweight, you're not doing something right, that you've chosen to do this lifestyle, which a lot of times can be true, but I find that we talk a lot down or act differently when it comes to overweight people, and in that sense, I mean, you know, you look at them differently. You feel like, you know, oh, that person, you know, especially when you see someone overweight eating like something wrong, you're like, oh, they should be doing this or they should be doing that, which I think is the complete opposite of what we should be doing. We should be trying to build people up so that they can make a change, rather than taking them down, expecting them to make a change. So one thing I've realized is people look at me differently, right? When I was overweight, I feel like people looked at me like an overweight person, like, oh, that guy should go to the gym, or that guy should be eating healthier, oh, he's in McDonald's eating that again, that kind of thing. And you don't realize it really does take a toll on you over time. Also, meeting new people, I find that I'm a lot more presentable. I have a lot more confidence in talking and speaking with people when I'm introducing myself. So relationships have gotten a lot better for me with friends, family, new people, everything's my attitude in general has just kind of brought up my relationships, or my attitude in general has made my relationships better. And that's one thing I've noticed, how other people treat me differently, is I'm more confident and I'm more relatable, and I'm happier, so people can relate better with me. But I also think at the same time that society kind of puts a toll on bigger people that we should, or society puts a label on bigger people that we should really be working towards getting away from, and we should be looking towards healthy ways to help them, or to motivate them to change. Not everyone's going to want to, right? Some people just want to live their lives, and that's completely fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. I, of course, would first recommend, just for longevity of lifetime and stuff like that, to do this, but, you know, not everyone's going to want to listen. That's just life. Terry had asked, when will you finally make your way to Niagara Falls? And she says, squat sesh, sushi, and steak runs. Fun experiences, adventures are screaming your name down here. I want to travel anywhere. Like, I want to go anywhere that you guys are like, come here. I'm like, yeah, I want to go there. But it's money, right? Money is the issue. I'm hoping it, like, the reason I'm doing this, or not the reason, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because the more I get myself out there, the more opportunities that come my way, the more people I'm going to be able to reach, more people I'm going to be able to meet, and face-to-face motivation is a lot different than online motivation, and I feel like that's something I really would love one day to be able to experience, to go around, talk to people face-to-face, do meetups, meet and greets, and all that kind of stuff. But that's in the future, and hopefully we will do one of those soon. How many days a week do you work out, and what kind of snacks do you eat that aren't terrible for you? I work out 6 days a week currently, and for snacks, I eat a lot of crispy minis, rice cakes, that kind of stuff. Like a turkey sandwich is pretty low calorie if you get a low calorie bread. Greek yogurt is a pretty popular one that I do too. Stuff like that. Favorite protein bar? Are you doing England meetup anytime soon? I wish. Like I said, protein bar. I love the Quest bars or Cliff Builder bars. Those are my two favorites. Quest bar for I'm looking for low calorie, and then Builder bar if I have the macros to fit it in. I'll get one of those. So that was the first question.